Yes. Unfortunately, Spurs fans, we have our first bit of drama. Okay, first bit of drama when it pertains to De'Aaron Fox. So it actually started from this clip. This is actually where it started. If you guys recall, it was just a cute little clip of De'Aaron Fox talking about Steph Castle, and it seemed like there was a domino effect after this. Now, the good news about all this is it has nothing to do with us, okay? When it comes to us Spurs fans, we're good, okay? No drama when it pertains to us fans, but there's a lot of drama when it comes to the Kings fans, and it came from this clip. So let's take a listen at what he said here and why they were so irritated by this. So let's we already took a look at this and we didn't think anything of it, but you know, it is what it is.
I'm going through it. I was like, I want Steph here. And I texted him that. I told him, you're a big reason why I wanted to come here. So that's a big thing about it, being able to play with Vic and being able to play with Steph. And even Dev and Keldon and a lot of those guys being able to play with HB again, and even CP still being here. I think that there are a lot of pieces that can work together and grow this franchise for the future. But obviously it does take a lot of work, and I'm ready for it.
All right, so what was the part that was controversial? I know it's probably very difficult to decipher which part was controversial and which part's an issue on what he said, okay? Even if a Spurs player left us and this is what they had to say about another team, I don't think that I would find anything wrong with this. But if you're a Kings fan, for some reason you found some issue with this. What it was the tampering. So they started saying, you were tampering. Let's listen to this clip one more time, just so we can get, you know, the full, I mean, it's not the full context, but just listen to what he said. And maybe you won't necessarily agree with the tampering part, but let's just see. Let's see.
I was like, I want Steph here. And I texted him that. I told him, you're a big reason why I wanted to come here. So that's a big thing about it, being able to play with Vic and being able to play with Steph.
It was the texting part. But if you listen to what he said, it sounds like after the fact, he texted Steph and said, hey, you're a big reason why I wanted to be here. There's no tampering going on. First and foremost, the San Antonio Spurs, how they operate, they weren't going to trade Steph Castle to begin with, right? They just weren't. They weren't going to trade him. They were going to keep him no matter what. He wasn't going to go. They didn't want him to leave, right? They didn't want to exchange Steph for Fox. And what actually made this deal easier for us, and I'm going to get into the Kings drama and all that and why they're like so upset, and this back and forth that De'Aaron Fox actually had with a fan. But the reason why we got such a great deal, not only because Brian Wright is a phenomenal GM, but is also because of the Luka trade. Like, the Luka trade kind of changed everything for us. I guarantee you, at the very least, Keldon was going to be gone. At the very least, they were going to have to give up Keldon. But after the Luka trade went through, it made it even easier for teams to make deals, right? Because they got nothing for Luka, essentially. I mean, some people can say, well, AD is a big piece. Not really. Contextually, that wasn't a good deal at all. That was actually awful. So the San Antonio Spurs are like, hey, look, Luka's gone. We're not putting these players on the market anymore. So you're just going to give us Fox. We already know that he wants to be here. Another thing too is, I just want to preface all this before we go into it. Another thing about the Fox situation as well is people think that Fox asked out. From my understanding, he actually didn't go to the Kings to ask out. What actually happened was the Kings decided to go ahead and shop him. We all knew Fox wasn't happy, right? Like, that was very obvious. Like, he continuously told them year after year after year, hey, give me a big man, give me this, give me that. And they kept just drafting guards over and over, not knowing what they're doing. And then eventually gave him a decent team. They made the playoffs, but, still wasn't enough. But we knew that he wasn't happy, but he actually wasn't the one, from my understanding, to ask out. They said, hey, we're going to move you. And then he gave his preferred spot, which was San Antonio. That's the big part of all this. Now, Kings fans, no offense, but they want to have their Spurs fan arc so bad. They are treating him, or attempted to treat him, as if he was this guy right here. Hold on, you see him? That guy. Kawhi Leonard. They said, you are a fox in the grass. Okay, honestly, guys, this is kind of an embarrassing moment for me. I had to ask Twitter. I had no idea what this meant. I saw grain and then fox and more grain. I was like, what does grain, fox, grain mean? And people said that means fox in the grass. It's like snake in the grass. So the whole fan base, not everybody, obviously, but a big chunk of the fan base tried to turn on De'Aaron Fox. And it is the most forced thing you can imagine, right? Base level, you're a Kings fan, okay? You need to recognize that. I am a Kings fan. The Kings suck. The franchise suck. We can't keep a star. That's where you need to start, okay? That's where you need to start. See, Spurs fans, the reason why we were upset with Kawhi is because he did a lot of sneaky stuff. He did a lot of terrible stuff. He just completely gave up on the team. It was just really weird explanations of why he doesn't want to be here anymore. It was awful. It was god awful. And he just abandoned his team, and there was a lot of emotions during that season as well because Popovich's wife she passed away, and it was a lot. That season was a lot, dude. And yeah, so the way that Kawhi Leonard went about it was actually quite terrible. But that is not the same as De'Aaron Fox whatsoever. And another reason is that we were upset is because the Spurs have shown to be able to keep their stars somewhat happy, right? Like they did it for years upon years upon years. So it was like, who is Kawhi to think that he could just like bounce on our team like that? You know what I mean? So it's different, but they are trying to force this hatred upon De'Aaron Fox. So if you don't know who this person is, Damian Barling, he has a ESPN radio show, I believe. So let's see. It's an ESPN radio show. Yeah, ESPN Sacramento. So he's a pretty big deal when it pertains to Sacramento news. So you can see here, multimedia journalist. He had a back and forth between Spurs reporter. Him and Spurs reporter went back and forth like just a few days ago, which was really funny. But yeah, so this dude is, you know, he's in that world of things. So what De'Aaron Fox had to say to this whole fox in the grass thing, because he's getting a lot of heat, right? Like he's getting it from all angles of the fandom, and he says this is actually funny because y'all really don't know Ish. That's what he said. You really don't know Ish. Now he deleted this, but that's how he initially reacted. He was quite upset. So what came out of this? Apparently they talked it out. Okay, apparently they talked it out. So Damian Barling says here, had a productive conversation with Swipe of the Fox. He gave me permission to share some of it on the show, including the context of the Castle video and what he told the front office this past offseason. Context is everything on Twitter and in real life. Appreciate you, 5. And then De'Aaron Fox, being the bigger man, did a little handshake emoji right here. So he knows that this guy, the information that he spews on his show is going to go to, you know, Kings fandom or whatnot. So he's not an enemy. He's not an enemy of the people. All right. Fox is actually quite cool. So the thing is, as far as the context of all this, they literally asked him about Steph Castle, and he said, yeah, of course, like I love Steph Castle, right? And he talked about how the defense is very important. That's a reason why he wanted to go to San Antonio and all these different things. But he wasn't someone that forced his way out of the Kings. That was not the vibe whatsoever, that he forced his way out. And then as far as what he told the front office this past offseason, he has said what he told the front office this past offseason. So we'll keep an eye on this over the next couple days. Maybe we can get some clips out of it and see how Damian Barling talks about this situation. But he has already talked to Draymond about this. He was very open in saying, I talked to the front office and I said we need to improve. I'm not going to sign an extension until we improve. It's just very strange to me if you're a Kings fan and you see how they can't keep a star. You see how they can't keep their draft picks. You can see how their organization is just not good. It's just not a good front office for you to turn on the one player that got you to the playoffs when it's been 16 years. You know, we gonna listen. Well, he hasn't posted it yet, but I'm just giving you an update on what's been going on. So, but to the credit of a lot of fans as well, or a nice size fans, they've also said like, this is really forced. Why are Kings fans doing this? Like talking about amongst themselves, right? Like, what are we doing? And guys, that I'm a huge Cowboys fan. You will never, every time I talk about the Cowboys, you will never catch me going on here and just going on and on about what Dak Prescott did, right? Like, oh, Dak Prescott should have made this pay, like, I start with all of my hatred towards my Cowboys. It starts at the top, because I understand that the franchise, it's their fault. It's the front office fault. It's not the players' fault. It's not like the front office is doing their thing and they're making all these phenomenal moves and, they got winning in mind. And then it's just the star player that's not stepping up to the plate. No, that's not true at all. And Fox is a player that wasn't necessarily a first option, right? He's more of a second option. And now he's in a situation where he's going to look even better because he's an actual second option. So just putting all that hate and all that malice towards Fox, when obviously your franchise is making terrible deals, like the deal between them and the Spurs. Let me emphasize how crazy this deal is, okay? Someone said, oh, so there's more to it too. Monk mad at Fox? Monk and DeMar are pissed at Fox. Are you basing that off of an unfollow? Okay, you guys might have to. Give me some context in the chat. We'll keep it going. I mean, my sentiment stays here. Like I'm not gonna change how I feel about this. But if you look at this trade, it is absolutely pathetic. I mean, it's awesome for us, but it's actually pathetic that the Kings weren't able to get more than what they did. They got finessed that bad. Let me see if I can find it. Sorry, I've been posting a lot, as you can see. We've been posting a lot. It's been a lot. It's been a lot of information. Because it happened before this. Am I tripping? I posted this much over the last just few days, bro. Here we go. Jeez, I was just trying to show the... Okay, so the Kings, they got 3 first-round picks. We already know what those are. They're absolutely nothing burgers. It's not a big deal whatsoever. But what was crazy about this is we still have a Kings swap. They weren't even able to get that back. So, like, how do you trade away your best player and you can't even get that? And then 2 of these first-round picks aren't even good. Because one is a 2027 San Antonio Spurs first-round pick, which, the Spurs would be pretty good, at that point. So it won't be a great pick. And then the other one is going to just convert to second-round picks anyways. Being a Cowboys fan is an L. That is true. DeMar follows all old teammates. All right, so you said... All right, Mendito breaking it down to us. So DeMar unfollowed Fox, and also Monk said he hasn't spoken to Fox at all during the whole thing, I think. I don't think that's that big a deal. Yeah. What year is the Sacramento Kings swap? Let's take a look. Spurs upcoming draft picks. I can't remember the exact year. Chat, you guys got to be quicker with it, man. Let's see. I think it's in the future. There we go. 2031. Yeah, they didn't get that. Instead, what they got was the Minnesota first round pick in 2031. They didn't even get their own swap. That's how little the Spurs thought of them. They're like, there's a better shot that you guys are bad that year. So, yeah, we're going to keep yours. So, anyways, that's the drama. Thanks, chat, for elaborating. So it seems like the players as well. So maybe that ignited. Watch first thing Monk said when interviewed in the locker room. Oh, okay. Here, we'll. Is it on the YouTube channel? Is it on the YouTube channel? We'll take a look at that. See, this is why I like going live, because you guys give me extra information. Because that's what I knew from today. Let's see if we can find the Kings channel. He reacts to the trade. Yes, risk the copyright. This is on Fox.
What up? And had a chance to talk to you since the trade. Just overall thoughts on seeing Fox go.
It was crazy. Because he was one of the reasons I came here for sure. But yeah, we got to move on. I know it's a business. By the looks of it, they said
This is it. This is what Kings, they want to be Spurs fans so bad, bro. Are you joking? Took a pay cut for him? I mean, yeah, I would be upset that I took a pay cut for him and I came to play with him, but like, he got traded. He doesn't want to be here. He wants to win. That's just how it goes. Of course he would be disappointed. See, someone in chat, no disrespect to the chat, but someone said that I think he felt betrayed. I don't know if this is betrayal rather than just like disappointment.
he wanted to be out of here, so we got what he wanted.
I know tonight's probably not the sample size you wanted, but in terms of what success can look like for this team, but just where do you feel like going forward you guys can be?
Oh yeah, we can do good things in this league, man. I gotta be better, especially not fouling, helping the team out, and I think that's why.
He wanted out, and that's what he wanted. And I doubt they talk about it anymore. And then here's DeMar. Should be the first question, right?
Thoughts of having Levine back on the squad with you and spending another couple times in your career?
No, we need to talk about Fox.
How I come back around full circle,
Talk about Fox.
doing and
Talk about Fox.
it was frustrating for him because he wanted to be out there, play with me and everything. So this time around to have him healthy, be on the and he could do it all levels. How he was playing, if they were bored.
Tomorrow, you're a veteran in this league. What's this past few days been like for you?
I mean, it's been crazy dealing with firing up a coach and my teammates. We've been sticking together, figuring this thing out, and we trending around, understanding what we got moving forward.
That's right. They did fire their coach.
Just a great amount of confidence that we already was. Wish him all the best. As long as he's happy, that's all.
Hold on.
Since the trade happened,
What did you say to De'Aaron after the trade?
I haven't talked to him since the trade happened. I'm pretty sure so much was going on. At some point, I'll reach out, just wish him all the best. As long as he's happy, that's all that matters.
As someone.
Yeah, guys, it's forced from Sacramento Kings fans. I was correct the first time. I'm glad that we got to elaborate on this, but yeah, this is all Kings fans, y'all. It's all Kings fans. This is crazy. Just that you don't care to follow him. This is all Kings fans, y'all. This is forced. This is very forced. All right, so I'm glad that we went over this though. I don't regret it. We'll keep it in the segment, right? I won't cut this out. We'll keep it in the segment, just so we can really hone in. Because when we had our drama with Kawhi, right? It was very apparent from all of our players that they had some issue with what was going on. Like, it was you can go back and watch Manu Ginobili's old interview while it was going on. Listen to Tony Parker, listen to Pop. They were all like, what the heck are you doing, dude? You're putting yourself like above the team. What are you doing? This right here, I just want him to be happy. It's nothing, bro. They need to get together. Unfollowing some high school chick stuff. Unfollowing is fine, bro. Like, you can unfollow somebody. Like, why unfollow someone you're cool with? You hate to see him go? I don't know. You don't want to see him in a Spurs jersey right now? I don't know. Maybe DeMar DeRozan misses the Spurs. Maybe he miss it. Maybe it's kind of like bitter. He's like, wow, I'm stuck in this poverty of a franchise. And meanwhile, he gets to go back to my beloved Spurs. I don't know. To show your boys you're down. There's another one. It could be that. It could be, you know, maybe a couple guys on the team aren't that happy about it. And he's like, hey, you know, I'm with you guys. Let's get it together, you know. I don't know. It's dumb. This is social media age that is basically, I don't fix with you. I don't fix with you. Boys equal fans. We don't miss the Frozen. Hey. Let's not start disrespecting them now. Be mad you're on the Kings. Don't be mad at someone who got out. Yeah, that's true too. Look, the Kings are a terrible franchise. I'm just being completely transparent and honest when I say that if I'm a Kings fan, just like me being a Cowboys fan, you need to look at your franchise first. Why is it that they can't keep a star? Why is it that they haven't won a playoff game in 16 years? Why is it that every time they were drafting during pivotal points of Fox's career, they kept drafting guards? Why did they keep doing that? Fox, if you were winning, if you set up a team to win and he felt like it's a good enough team to win, then he wouldn't want out. Why is it that you trade away your best player and this is the best you can get out of it? But DeMar has not unfollowed a teammate before, I heard. It doesn't matter. I don't know. He might have. I don't know. I actually haven't really kept up with that aspect of it. I promise they all low-key know what it is and can't be mad at Fox. DeMar probably encouraged Fox, especially how high DeMar views San Antonio. It is not that big a deal. It is not that big a deal. And I just think that it's for... I'll say this. All the hate... let's break it down like this, okay? Behind closed doors, we don't know what's going on. DeMar DeRozan, Monk, they could just absolutely despise De'Aaron Fox, hate him to his guts. Everybody in that locker room can hate him, right? But based on what we've seen and what they've said and how they've reacted, there's no reason for Kings fans to react the way that they reacted and start calling him a snake. Based on what we've seen here and what we listened to, for you to react that way, it seems forced to me. At least with Spurs fans, when that stuff happened with Kawhi, every single player, key player of our team, gave the indication that they were not happy with what was going on. We had constant team. Well, we didn't have constant team. We had one big team meeting, which results in nothing. We had Popovich trying to go talk to him. We had Manu Ginobili saying, look, you got to be with the team in order. And he said this on camera, like he was talking to us, like it's important for you to be with the team and actually like at least look at film. You know, if you're not going to play, at least look at film. We're like, dang, he's not even there to look at film. We had Tony Parker saying, well, you know, I had the same injury and I got past it, so I don't know what's going on. We had so much. We had Popovich's wife passing. Like it was so much that season. But this right here, this is force. This is absolutely force. Anyways, let's get out of this one. It's a good segment. Thank you guys for telling me the extra context, though.